under attack! Again!
All right, well, it's been a pretty boring week here in the Kingdom. Not much happening except that we're 3-0 now and demolished the 49ers on Sunday.
Yeah, 3-0, baby. First time since 2003. Man.
Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And, I mean, a game, we talked about it last week. We both thought that the 49ers were a game we were going to win. I'll be honest with you. I didn't see that coming.
Oh, absolutely not. That's the most complete game from offense, defense, special teams, all facets that I've seen in a long time at Arrowhead. I was telling a buddy, I think since the 90s, we've seen a complete game like that where we just totally manhandled the team, and they got a garbage touchdown at the end.
Yeah, which was questionable even on the way that happened, honestly.
But just total domination all day long in all facets.
Well, now, we both said it in two different ways. Mine was on RockChalkChampion. Yours was talking about when the offense actually starts to produce how scary the team's going to be.
Yeah.
And I would like to say, and I'm not going to maintain it, he's got to do it consistently, but last week, Castle was the RockChalkChampion of the week, and I think he lived up to that this game.
Absolutely. He was definitely, you called that right on the nose, 250 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 117, which is his second highest since being a Chief. And, you'll take 117 passer rating any week. You do that, and that there was a statistic that was the 7th time in his career he's had over 100 passer rating, and his teams are 7-0 when he does that. So,
what's that say?
It says a whole bunch, Well,
when we talk about the ratings and then percentage as far as where you go in the season, and anybody just reading any of the forums or anything, this has become a pretty standard statistic. But basically, 3-0 teams are 75% chance for the playoffs since 1990, I think.
And out of those, how many 3-0 teams have a 2-game lead on the rest of the division like we now do? That's icing on the cake. We got to win, and all 3 of the other losers lost and are 1-2. So we got a 2-game stranglehold already, right. And we're 1-0 in the division for tiebreakers.
Yeah.
So we're the only team that's played each other. So we're ahead in all aspects there.
It's going to be an exciting season.
I want to talk about let's break down complete team. I want to start with the offense. We talked about Castle, what kind of day he had, but 207 yards rushing. We had 457 yards total offense, and it was a balanced attack. Charles had 97 yards. Jones had 95 yards. I was reading some stuff today that's the most yards that the 49ers have given up rushing since 2004.
They're a very good rushing defense.
Yes.
And we pounded it through consistently. Wore them out with Jones, which has been the plan the whole time. So you know what? You naysayers that have been talking so badly about Charles not getting the carries and everything, witness what Haley's trying to do here and what Weiss is doing through him. There is a game plan. And that's exactly what's going on. Stop whining about Charles not getting the carries. They're being used as weapons. So sorry your fantasy football scores aren't going the way that you'd like, but we're about the Chiefs winning.
And we are now the number 1 ranked rushing attack in the NFL.
In the NFL, by a good margin.
Absolutely. And then, back when we think of probably the greatest offenses the Chiefs ever produced, was with Priest Holmes, Dick Vermeil, Larry Johnson. We always ranked around at least the top 5, but there was a couple of years we were number 1 in rushing through the year. And with these 2 backs, and they're going to be fresh because, like I said, they're getting basically 20 carries a game. They're not getting a workload like, say, for instance, Frank Gore, who we can easily transition into. The Chiefs held the San Francisco 49ers and Frank Gore, who's one of the best running backs in the NFL, to 43 yards rushing.
I'm sorry, that makes me laugh. He was
the only guy that rushed the ball, and he only had 43 yards. Just an amazing transformation what Romeo Crennel's done for this team, because last year we had teams rushing for over 300 yards against us, and now I don't know the exact statistics. We were ranked 9th last week. We had to move up quite a few spots, only giving up 43 yards to Frank Gore. It was amazing. And Sean Smith was just a beast.
He was playing balls to the wall.
No pun intended.
Well, I admit it.
Yeah.
I love to see the fire on that side of the ball too, man. I'm going to tell you, yeah, he did. You can see it.
Yeah,
that's football.
San Francisco, I think those guys, they should like having their balls played with anyways. I don't know why they're complaining. I guess Sean Smith didn't cuddle with them.
Right. He didn't get the afterwards that he was looking for. So.
And then Javon Belcher, 10 tackles. He's solidifying our middle linebacker play. Last year,
the Cinderella story that we talked about, and it's continuing. He's on his way to the ball.
Yeah, he had an unbelievable game also. And then, of course, 5 sacks.
3 of them by one gentleman by the name of Tamba Hali.
Yeah,
that dude is a beast.
And we broke this down a few weeks ago. 5 sacks. Just go back 2 short years ago. We had 10 for the whole season. We had deuce last year, 22.
Right. One
game we had, half of 2 years ago, and almost 1/4 of last year.
Exactly.
Sack total
already.
Yeah, already.
And then on the other side of the sacks, Matt Castle, I think 2. Is that?
I believe
think 2 so far.
Yeah.
And he led the league last year. It was 29th. I can't remember the ranking, but I mean he was either the most sacked or right there.
Right there at the top. Yeah, absolutely. That goes all credit to our offensive line. If you're getting that kind of balance where Castle's, not getting sacked and we're rushing the ball like that, that goes to Brian Waters. Looks like he's 28 years old and playing at a Pro Bowl level again.
Right.
Wigman, I don't know how many plays I saw him not last night, but on Sunday, out 10, 15, 20 yards out in front of the running back, drilling a safety.
Yeah.
And Ryan Lilja, the same deal, And then
Barry, Kansas City.
Yeah, Barry Richardson's been playing really good. He's
beautifully.
He's had a couple mistakes here and there, holding or offsides or something like that, but he's playing. He's solidified that right tackle, and they're playing as a unit. And no pressure on Castle. We're rushing the ball, number 1 in the league, So total props to our offensive line, because that's where it begins and ends. And this last game, we controlled both of those facets, and if you control the line of scrimmage on either side of the ball and you do it on both, you're going to win 90% of your games, because that's where
it's the recipe for wins.
That's where it all begins and ends.
Well, and what about I saw this last year, and I'm glad to see it coming to fruition this year. The trick plays that we're starting to see out of Haley in the mind, and what he's actually bringing out. The big one that I remember from last year was. Basically, I think it was the Wildcat, which it was a toss to Castle. I had no idea what was coming.
Yeah.
I don't remember who had the ball to throw it, but could have worked, and a lot of people talked really badly about it. I was excited to see that Haley thought this way, was willing to take some stuff.
He was gambling all day. The onside kick, the Wildcat, it didn't work twice. Well, it worked once for a 4th and 2 play. They got 5 yards. But didn't work the second time. But they were setting up the 49ers. And that one play where 5 guys touch the ball. Wigman snaps it. Thomas Jones gets it. Hands it off McCluster, who tosses it to Castle, who tosses it to Bo. 48-yard touchdown. Thing of beauty.
It was absolutely beautiful.
So all in all, I said Dexter, his first game starting, 3 catches, 66 yards. Moiaki with the play of the week.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable one-handed touchdown catch. Leading receiver again, 4 catches for 44 yards. I mean, these rookies just time and time again are coming out there and proving that they can play in the NFL. It's not a one-and-done deal, and our future is so bright with these kids.
This is going to be a great game. And Chiefs fans, just like we've been telling you ever since camp, you have great reason to be excited, and I think you're starting to feel it now instead of just hear the words coming out of our mouths. Great reason to be excited and great time to be a Chiefs fan right now.
Woo! 3-0!
And it's going to keep coming.
Make sure you check out Two in the Kingdom on Facebook.com.
And you can also reach us at twointhekingdom@gmail.com with any questions or anything. So let's get to X Factor of the game.
Absolutely.
And some Rock Chalk Champion of the Week.
Woo!
Go Chiefs!
This is X Factor of the game. Guess what, though? We don't have a game this week, but we still got practice. Haley's got his boys in there. So my X Factor this week is, how is Romeo Cornell going to game plan for Peyton Manning? How's he going to get our defense ready? And so I'm going to be so clued in on what Romeo Cornell's going to come up, to shut down Peyton Manning. We know they ain't got much of a running game. So it's all going to be about how he's going to game plan to get pressure on Peyton Manning because he loves to get rid of the ball really fast. How are we going to stay with these wide receivers and make sure they don't have big plays? So my X Factor of this game is all about Romeo Cornell, baby.
This week's Rock Chalk Champion of the Week, and as X Factor said, there is no game coming up this week, so your Rock Chalk Champion is going to be none other than Charlie Weiss. But first, you Two in the Kingdom viewers and AP viewers and KC Chiefs viewers and everybody else, let me remind you, Matt Castle was the one last week, and he did perform. You're going to continue to see that. But, Charlie Weiss is going to game plan for this team, and we're going to win because of him. He was not, he was supposed to go in for surgery prior to the game against the 49ers. He refused. He fought through the pain, and so now he's gone in. He's had his gallbladder out, and so he's on injured reserve right now. But he's going to come out of the gates firing just like Castle in the offense and the defense in against the 49ers, and we're going to see a hell of a game against the Colts come Sunday after next. So there's your Rock Chalk Champion of the Week. Go Chiefs. All right, another show. Got a week off, and so this is Two in the Kingdom's bye week as well, but we will be back next week and talking about the Indy game a little more.
Yeah, we're going to break it down, and I think we're going to have some special guests on the show too. I think we're going to
throw some more people up on the map from around the country.
We're going to go outside the country, I believe, too.
Yeah, maybe on a couple of them.
Yeah, on a couple of them. I know for sure we're probably going to be talking to a guy in Europe, so...
Okay, and maybe one in Australia, so we'll see.
And also, we may have a special guest for you. I'm going to be working on some other things.
We're always working on it.
Yeah, but I think I'll have a special guest maybe show up on set for us, too. So.
Cool. All right.
Stay tuned.
3-0, AFC West champions, still...
That's some mighty fine sounding music they've got there. Yeah, well, speaking of us, if you like what you hear, you want to check out our inane ramblings, by all means go to www.kcbastards.com. After all, wouldn't you like to be a bastard too?